All right, let's see if I can do this quickly. Yes, because I have to go with my car. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Yubi. I'm your astro-friendly Latina therapist, and this is Tarot My Becoming, where I entertain tarot with you. These are general readings, and so if the title called you, there could be a message in here for you. It's also possible that it could just be a sentence, a word, a feeling. I hope you have your journal ready. You're noting down all of this so you can go and unpack it later. As such, if something doesn't resonate, don't make it fit. There's no need to force something if it doesn't align with you. I want to thank you for being patient with me. I didn't post anything yesterday, but there will be a special treat today around midday, hopefully. I hope you enjoy it and check it out. And there's more of that to come as well. Let's see. The other thing I wanted to share with you, Cancer, is that, and I don't really think I've shared it with you, I'm needing to cut back on how often I'm posting, and that's just because I'm in the middle of training. There's a lot going on for me, and I'm needing sleep. So be prepared that the number of videos that I put out are going to shift slightly. And so the goal is that something will get put out on a daily basis. It'll just not be as much as before. The other thing is Café con Tarot. If you join me on Sundays, the extended portion where I go through each zodiac sign, that part, I think what I'm going to start doing is posting that on the Skool platform. And so just be prepared for that change. If you do watch it and look forward to it, it will be separated into two parts. And so the general reading will still be posted on here. But if you're interested in that extra information, it'll be accessed on my Skool platform. So if you haven't joined the community, you can join it now. Absolutely free to join. I think that's it. Cancer, when I was meditating for you, just looking at time because I gotta go with the car. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scenes came up. And those 5 scenes, the first one was working out with disabled children, specifically children who have Down syndrome. And so I looked that up, and initially when I look at children in general, it's children that have needs, children that are dependent, but with something very specific, it's letting me know that whatever you're nurturing, whatever project you're having is needing extra attention, much more attention than before. And when you think about the symbolism around just children in general, specifically children with needs, not just Down syndrome, but any type of needs, there's almost this awareness. And if you don't know, now you know. Children are here to teach us. They are that next generation, and they're going to be different, and they're going to be different specifically to challenge us to grow. So it's not that we need to conform them to how we do life. It's about how are they teaching us to do life differently. And so a lot of it is being able to connect to unconditional love, unconditional acceptance of how an individual develops. And so there could be a need for you to tap into an unconditional acceptance and love for the things that you are working on, the passion projects, or if you do work literally with children, it could be having to work on tapping into that empathetic side of you. It could even be your inner child that is needing extra attention, the inner parts of you that maybe you have worries about, concerns about, not meeting full expectations, right? Because if you think about children, if you work with children with special needs or unique needs or just different needs, oftentimes there's a gap of where society thinks they should be functioning versus where they are. Reality, they're exactly where they need to be. They're functioning. It's just a new baseline for the world, right? But society standards and the way we've been conditioned to exist create these expectations that we then learn and then expect for other people to continue to do, and that cycle continues. So children are meant to help us break apart from that, create new structures, new baselines, and understand that the diversity within us is going to continue to expand. Anyways, so there could be a need for you to nurture your inner child. There could also be lessons in you slowing down. So whatever it is that you're working on, you're needing to make more time for it, more attention to it, be more attentive to it. add more kindness, more unconditional love, more pure joy. Oftentimes children, specifically children with Down, there's just so much more joy in their lives because of that innocence, and children in general are just much more connected to spirit because they're less conditioned in our ways. There also could be a need for you to find your calling, to feel like you have purpose. And so there's a chance that maybe you're needing to realign your work and kind of trust that you're going to be led down the path that you're needing to be led on, where you will find maybe more of that unconditional joy. So wherever you are right now, you're needing to revisit it, and you're needing to look at it, whether it's within yourself or the environment around you and the people that you're working with. The next thing that came up, I saw a dark room. It was in the middle of the night. And I'm hearing the parents arguing, and I'm seeing this boy in a bed covered up with blankets and covering his ears. So it's definitely like parent conflict. And so this could indicate emotional conflict within yourself, especially when you think about parents taking on that authoritative figure. And so they are often represented of, the rules and the things that we conform to. So the fighting may be mirroring conflict between your core beliefs and where you are right now, that inner child, right? And what you've been taught to believe. There could be concerns around your foundation or sense of security. If you think about it, parents provide a sense of stability and a foundation. And so there could be question around your personal stability or how you're grounding yourself. Again, I mentioned that the boy could be representative of your inner child, or a part of you that still feels helpless or is being triggered into, like, going back into, there could be a conflict that you're recognizing, oh, it's triggering stuff for me from my childhood. And so kind of be aware of that. There could also be an avoidance of problems or conflict because the child was covering their ears. So that it's possible that whatever conflict is happening, whether it's internal or external, there's something about not wanting to address it at that moment, or not being able to address it in the moment. And so, sorry, I'm like in the middle of also. So one of the reasons why it took long today to post it is because I hadn't updated my software. So it's like, I was like, oh snap. So today's videos are going to be delayed. But it just feels, for me right now, there's like this pull to slow down for me in my life. There's that it's okay to not rush things, like to take my time and bring things to a clean close for me anyways. So I'm juggling that at the same time. But anyway, so yeah, it's possible that there could be an avoidance of issues. There could be, whether you're not ready for it, whether it's overwhelming, it could just be you're tuning it out. It could also symbolize just having a hard time taking in a truth, because you don't trust what's happening around you. So again, you could be triggered. There could be something that deep rooted that you're experiencing. There could be the need for healing. And so you could just start questioning yourself about how does that make you feel? Just me describing that, if that is resonating with you. The next thing that I saw was a child asking an adult. It was an art class, and there was art projects over here, and then there was a child here, and it's almost like I was the parent, but I was being pulled by this child to go look at the art project that they had done. And so there could be, and immediately I thought, you're needing validation or approval or recognition, and that's what it popped up. So a need for recognition of personal growth, validation of new ideas, or a reconnection with your inner child's creativity, because there was a desire to create something and show it off. So those are things that you may be seeking and or needing. You may need to also nurture new projects, right? Artwork is a new idea, a new path. And so the child within you could be wanting you to pay attention to that, and find success in it. Let's see, no, there's two more. Two more. The next one, I dreamt there was a big muscular man. So when I was little, I used to be afraid of the Hulk, but like the old school Hulk, the Hulk that would come out in like he was green. He was actually a wrestler. Was he a wrestler or a weightlifter? Back in the 80s. Then I would cry bloody murder whenever I'd see him on TV. And my mom, like, they would make fun of me because it was just scary for me at the time. So anyways, it looked like a man like that, like very buff, very, muscly. And he was really upset, but he was, you could tell he was holding it in and he was trying to be professional about it. So again, there could be a sense of repressed emotions holding back how you're really feeling about something. And so anger, frustration, overwhelm in a work or public setting, because the professionalism afterwards, I saw him with a suit and tie. So there could be outside pressures that are really boiling up and causing frustration within you, and needing to like tone it back. Or it could also signify that you're silently enduring something while you're awake. Let's see, a powerful or giant figure often represents the scale of the emotion. So yeah, it was big. And so you could be pissed. You could be pissed. Did you ever see Mean Girls? When she's describing, she's spelling it out. She's going to be Pised. The other girl's like, pissed? So anytime I think of being pissed, I'll say, oh, I'm so pissed. I was so pissed. So you could be really upset about something that's happening outside of you, specifically at work. There could be inner conflict around rigidity and chaos. And so needing to find a balance between how you express your emotions and how you feel your emotions. There could be something about your sense of integrity. Because someone trying to maintain composure represents your own sense of right or wrong, of professional integrity. So how you manage yourself in the professional setting. There could be issues around power dynamics. If you feel looked down on or overshadowed. No, that wasn't an issue. It just felt like it was more emotions. But there could also be like a situation with a boss because of the strength of that person. Yeah, so those were such as some themes. But honestly, it just really felt like this person was trying to hold back their feelings, and trying to be professional about it. So you could be experiencing intense feelings and needing to know how to express it. So it goes back to also communication. Is how do you handle communication when you are being triggered? The last scene was a movie theater. And I saw a line of kids, and then one of the girls, there was one girl who cut the line and then came up towards me, and then they said to me, "Y la seguranza que tienes." And it was very much like, I'll explain that part. But the first part, when you're thinking about a line of students, right? It's students are learning. Students are there could be. But just even the statement. So the statement translated is la seguridad que tienes, and the assurance that you have. It was very neutral, that statement. And so you could take it as, and the insurance that you have, like with a question mark, like what's the insurance that you have and the insurance that you have. But it was also like, y la seguridad que tienes. I had it before because I was trying to interpret the tone, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that felt really, really neutral. It could go either way. Like, what's the assurance that you have? And y la seguranza que tienes, if you add a question mark, y la seguranza que tienes, it's and the assurance that you have, and the assurance that you have. So there could be something about standing in line, getting out of line, being judged about cutting the line, or trying, I don't want to say it was like doing something sneaky, because they just cut the line. So it's possible that you're trying to cut something short or interrupt something, Because the waiting in line was like, okay, maybe you're waiting for something, but there's desperation around no movement, so you're just cutting the line. And so let's see. Standing line suggests you are waiting for something, or that you feel your progress is being measured against others. And then there were students. This represents your peers, colleagues, or a younger, less experienced part of yourself. That's the line. But then there's like unfair treatment, disruption in the structure, like I said. Yeah. So there could be like a feeling that something is not being fair, whether it could be, in the work that you do, or in some type of place where you're learning, because it was about kids. It says, let's see, someone cutting a line can represent feelings of unfairness, that others are doing less to achieve the same goals, or that someone is bypassing the proper process. The student's action indicates a desire to break rules or to confront you directly rather than waiting for their turn. So there could be, you could want to interrupt someone or like confront someone. How you do it, I don't know, because it sounds like you're really upset. And so there could be, and all of this is perception, right? So like, how are you perceiving the situation? Do you feel like they're cutting? Do they have the same role as you, right? Because in the scene, I wasn't a student with them, but the student approached me, and they were the taller student. But there was this feeling like I wasn't a student. So there's someone that you're either encountering where you're maybe not at the same level, but definitely more than the student level. So there's someone that you're still learning from, but there's something about like not being at the same level. So there's something about, she was tall. I remember she approached me and she was almost as tall as me. So there's something about like the person or you not being at the same level as this other person. And so it's possible that the roles are just different, right? But there's, again, there could be built up feelings around what's happening. And that could be triggering, bringing it back, right? To like situations around conflicts that you're wanting to avoid, and the need for that tapping into the compassion, right? The unconditional love, unconditional acceptance for if things are not going to the expectation or are not functioning to the expectation that you have it. There's a need for that patience. There's a need to slow down. There's a need to reevaluate, what is triggering you. Could that be something from your childhood that's coming out into a work setting, with people in particular? And again, it comes back to, it was in a movie theater, so there could be something about performance. It could be something about how you're performing at a work environment where everyone is still learning, because there was children, and the need for validation, right, for the work that you are doing. So there could be a combination of all of that. Let's get into the reading, because I gotta go move my car in a little bit. What time is it? Yeah, actually, I might have to go move my car right now. Let's do that. Let me go move the car, and then I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Where were we? Getting 3 cards for the overall message. 3 cards for the overall message. Cancer, my Cancer folks. All right, here we go. 3 cards, please. We're talking about Temple Path. Ooh, Temple Path. Maybe you're being called. So temple could be to go within, right? Your own temple. You think of your body. This came up for Scorpio as well. Maybe you have Scorpio in your chart. But a temple path, the sun. So there's something about healing. There's something about healing, going within a growth. Oh, I didn't notice this. There's growth. The symbol for growth is right here. The little caracol means growth. There's something about growth, even the steps going up the steps into this temple. There's something about growth, cleansing. I didn't notice it before. Usually the sun card for me is like the happiest card in the deck, right? And it's Leo energy, so there could be a sense for you to tap into your own confidence. There's also something about cleansing because she's in water. Like, I had never seen this card as cleansing before. But cleansing is coming out. So there's something that you're needing to clear out, and it has to do with inner child, the triggers, right? Like, look, espérate. Wait. Let me get my magnifying glass. There is, oh snap, there's a baby. It's almost like it was put aside. I hadn't noticed that before. Oh my gosh, does this mean I need bifocals? Oh shit. My age is coming out. Yesterday, yeah, there's like a child. Look, I'm gonna try to zoom in. There's a little child right here. And it's like pushed aside and a little like, and peeping its head out. So the triggering is forcing something to come out of you. An inner child need, like the validation, right? We talked about validation. The sun is Leo energy. So it's like, look at me, look at me. Leo is the actor of the zodiac. And so actor performs, right? And we talked about being in a movie theater. So there's something about how you perform and being acknowledged for how you're performing. But there's something triggering that, like, look at me, right? That's so funny. I've never interpreted this card this way before. That's so wild. So there's a need for healing work. But my age, yesterday, I mentioned to someone that I'm running the marathon and that I'm training for the marathon. Fourth chakra, heart chakra. Yes, heart chakra healing right here. It's a heart chakra opening. It's tapping into your inner wounds. But I mentioned to someone that because me veo cansada, like I'm more tired. I look tired, and I'm like, it's just one, I don't have eye makeup on. I'm having to cut. Aside from me having a sty, right? I got a sty, and I think it was because I was running earlier this week. And I didn't tie my hair back in time, and I have bangs, and it kept popping. I remember thinking, oh, it's bothering my eye, and I was sweating. I think I irritated my eye. So I haven't been wearing eye makeup. I've been tired because I've been waking up at 4:30 in the morning to get to the gym at 5. So it's something every day, right? With the exception of my rest days. And it's taking a toll on how I do my work because I work late hours. So they were asking, are you okay? Are you okay? And it's just because, when you don't have eye makeup, you look more tired. So I'm like, no, I'm good. I was a little tired. So then, and anyways, in that conversation, it came up. Have you run a marathon before? I'm like, yeah, actually like 10 years ago, over 10 years ago. And I'm like, but I'm older now and I feel it more. And then I'm like, I'm gonna be 45. She looked at me like, what? You look good for 45. Like, I think so too. And I want to maintain that as I get older, right? Hence why I'm so just side conversation. But anyways, yes, the need for healing, the need to go within to do the self-reflective work so that you can grow. You can go up these steps. There's a need for cleansing. There's an inner child triggering that's coming out. It's popping its head out. It's needing attention. And then the fourth chakra, like the heart chakra, this is causing a heart chakra opening. So like the heart chakra is healing. It's also unconditional love. So it's the need to tap into your heart a little bit more. How are you presenting, Cancer? Oh, how are you presenting? Temperance energy, Sagittarian energy. This is patience. This is alchemy, like needing to be patient, right? This is alchemy, meaning change that's happening behind the scenes, internal change. So I mentioned before, there's something internal, right? That is being highlighted now for you. That's the external, right? What's the crossing energy? The crossing energy is the opportunity. Oh my gosh, here's another one. Here's pues. Same as You guys are just wanting more cards to come out. You have 3 cards. And not just any 3 cards. Another heart chakra opening, an opportunity to go down a spiritual path, the 8 of Cups, for healing work, moon energy, Cancer energy. This is you, home energy. It's to heal the hidden shit. That's the opportunity. The opportunity isn't something you have to take. It's the universe saying, hey, it's time. It's time. You're getting triggered, you're getting activated, right? Probably a little more than ever. Like, do you want to take this opportunity and navigate the healing process? Go through the cleansing waters, right? Heal the shadow aspect of you. And then it could be related to home, right? One of those, the things that I saw was a child covering their ears, a child asking for attention, validation for their artwork, a child who hadn't met certain expectations, right? What else? A child who cut in line. So there's something about inner child work that is needing to get addressed. Queen of Wands energy is Leo energy. This is in the layer underneath. This could be the layer that you're trying to tap into. Is like, okay, which project am I wanting to spark, get that spark again of like what I like, what it almost feels like you have a lot on your plate. I know that card is usually like a happiness card, like a joyful card, but it also gives me, because it's wand energy, and there's it's almost like you have all these responsibilities, but you can't manage them all at once. And it's like you're trying to find validation or have the attention on one thing. You're trying to get the validation for one thing. Yeah. Look, she's picking it up. Like, she's looking at it, right? And it's like the attention is to this one thing. So it's like, look what I did. So that's the hit. That's underneath. That's really what you're wanting. You're wanting that validation. You're wanting that, look at what I did. Look at what I achieved, right? Look at how I was able to handle this situation. But look at how contrasting. Again, look at how contrasting. And I think one of the things was talking about like masking how you're feeling. Look at what you're wanting deep down inside versus what's showing up, right? Showing up, having to be more not discerning, but like serious. It's almost like you're presenting like you don't care, but you do. It's almost presenting like there's nothing that you're passionate about, but you do have stuff that you're passionate about. It's almost like you're presenting as, temperance, this one reminds me like juggling also, because it has the 2. Juggling the dark side of you with the light side of you. And all you're really wanting is for people to see that you can do things, right? The accomplishments that you have. Like, that's inside what you're wanting. Look at me, look at me. Didn't I just say look at me earlier? Look at me. Okay. Hidden energy. And it's not a bad thing. It's just validation, right? Validation for the work that you're doing. Recognition. It starts by seeking it outside of you. So if you think about kids, sometimes people get upset with kids because they're wanting validation, right? And they don't realize that kids are learning, right? And so when they get upset because kids are getting attention, it's because they're also not getting the attention. And so it's mirroring back to them what they don't have, and they get upset and don't want to do it. And so, but deep down inside, you want validation, you want recognition. So that's being triggered for you. Underneath the potential energy, the hidden energy is what you don't see that's coming. It could be something that you can access, that can help you. It could be something that may hold you back. It could be something that will naturally unfold because of the events. Change, transformation. This card symbolizes that, stepping into the unknown so that you can learn how to find yourself, so that you can learn how to validate yourself through your own process. It's internal work. Look at this. the temple path. It's like, step in here, step in here. You're being called to change. You're being called to shine the light on the inner stuff. What are you walking away from, Cancer? What are you walking away from? What are you walking away from, Cancer? Cancer, Cancer, what are you walking away from? What are you walking away from, Cancer? Oh, there it is. Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles usually is something that's fair, like an equal exchange. But I honestly, the way the story is going, I feel like, and then that the student cutting in line, right, saying, "Y la seguranza que tienes," like, what assurance do you have, or y la seguranza que tienes, like, or what's the assurance that you have? There's something about like imbalance, something that's not balanced, right? People having more control over the younger kid, right? In terms of conflict, a child asking an adult for validation versus seeking the validation within themselves, right? Working out with children who have a disability. And I apologize if I say disabled children. It's children who have disabilities or a perceived disability according to societal standards, right? Expectations, stereotypical expectations. And so there's this, there's this, that's being highlighted, right? Like a big man holding in the feelings. So this, again, like it's off balance. So you're walking away from something that's off balance. Usually this card for me represents balance, but the way the story, like, it feels like it's off balance. You're walking away from that. So what are you walking towards, Cancer? Oh, yes. Creating something new for yourself. Discovering what it is that you want to nurture for yourself. Understanding that change is not an overnight process. That's what the Empress knows. The Empress knows that change is not an overnight process. The Empress knows it takes approximately, give or take, 9 months, right, for a new life to come out, depending on the creature, right? They know that the Earth rotates a certain number of ways, right? And the Moon rotates around the Earth. Like, they know that things take time. Like, there's all these circling. So it's like time. There's an awareness that things take time, and there's more patience with it. There's an acceptance for how transformation unfolds in the earth. That's what you're walking towards if you choose this path. If you choose this path, right? You will gain that awareness. What's your sitch? Oh, pain. Heartbreak. It could be not necessarily in love. I feel like this is more just the healing. The healing is around you. The need for healing, the frustration, like she's fine, like, you know, like that guy was holding in the emotion. She's letting it all out. She's letting it all out. Like everything that's been bottling up is coming out. Hopes. Cancer. Hopes for you. What are the hopes? Oops. The hopes is that you'll close out this cycle. You'll cycle out. You'll level up. You'll level up and develop new strength. You'll level up and develop confidence. You'll level up and go through this transformative experience, right? Balancing the positive and the negative. That's the hope. Because look, it's like these two are at odds with each other. They're on opposite ends. And here, she's embodied them. It's within her. It's acceptance. It's unconditional acceptance of self. When you're able to unconditionally accept yourself, you're able to unconditionally accept other people. Fierce is maybe lack of hope, lack of faith. It could be the healing process itself. The star energy is healing. So it could be what this process will entail, what it will require of you, and not having the faith or the hope that things will change. What is the outcome? The Chariot energy. Again, You, Cancer energy. Clarity. This is clarity on what you want to do with the two sides of you, right? What you want to do with these choices, with these opportunities. The opportunity to do the healing work. The opportunity to do the healing work. The opportunity to do the healing work, right? I mean, there's so much opportunity around the healing work. What's underneath? Nine of Cups, emotional fulfillment. You don't see this coming. This is in the hidden energy. It's emotional fulfillment. Going through this process, going through the emotional transformative process, because it's fourth chakra, is what's really going to help you have a different perspective, a different outcome for how you're navigating these challenges around authority, around your big emotions, right? Around your communication style, around your level of confidence, so that you can have the assurance, right? That statement, y la seguranza que tienes, and the assurance that you have, right? Like, you know, what is the assurance? That's for you to discover. There really is. Like, it's instead of allowing other people to judge your path, right? It's about you learning how to judge yours, how to give yourself validation, how to recognize when something is needing your attention, whether it's your big emotions or something from your childhood that's being triggered, or something that another person with less power, right? Like a child with a special need is triggering within you. Or someone else where there's an imbalance at work, right? Or imbalance, what was it? The student with the tall girl that cut the line is somebody else in a different position where you feel like there's unfairness. What are they triggering within you, right? Let's get 3 cards of advice, 3 cards for clarification, and then we get, there's 1, 3 of Swords again. Healing, yes. You're being called to heal. It's a perspective. Look, it's how you're looking at the situation. It's how you're looking at the situation. Prince of Wands, tapping into, again, Leo energy at the Hierophant. Yes. This has to do with rushing towards these core beliefs that you have. Remember, one of them was about core beliefs, the child and the parents, the authority figures, symbolic for core beliefs. It's challenging those core beliefs. The wand energy is the fastest one in the fastest knight in the deck, right? So it's about challenging those perspectives and creating something new, creating a new way of looking at the world. Hierophant is all about rules. It's all about structures. It's authority. It's the systems in place. So it's the systems that you think you have within yourself about how the world should work, about how children should be, about how you should be, about how your peers should be, about how you're supposed to deal with emotions, right? About what else? How you get recognition and validation, right? Externally. So there's a lot of core beliefs that are needing to change within you. A lot of people look at their work as validation for you know, what their value, their worth. Some people look at, you know, the type of work, not necessarily work. Some people look at the paycheck as their validation. Some people look at other people's words as their validation, right? But this is challenging you to challenge all of that within you. All right, let's get an oracle card and then we'll end this up for you. I think yours is going to be a long reading. Alchemy, change. This is change. Look, you got change in your hand. You got change in your hand. Alchemy. That's the first one, I think. Nope, just kidding. The second one. It is up to you to acknowledge an obstacle as impermanent. Regardless of who is to blame, it is your responsibility to defy a false limitation. A quirk or idiosyncrasy is a strength. Bring it out and own it. Individuality is a precious gem. Throw your woes into the smelting pot and craft them into powerful tools. Experiment with what you have and give it value. Life is perpetual movement, and yet life is also still. Life is change, and yet it is also unchanging. You are a part of this moving stillness, changing and unchanging through time and eternity. Something is moving within a still part of you, and yet something is still within the moving part of you. Is still within, so a still part of you. Yeah. Meditate on this. Feel complete oneness in your being as you are. So, Cancer, that is for you. Hit the like button if this made sense for you. Share the message if you think it'll help somebody else. Don't forget to join us on Sunday for Café con Tarot, and also later on today, because I'll have a special treat for you that I'll be posting for those that are interested. All right, we'll see you next time.